What's up YouTube? Capital G here doing a video response to Slaydra's The End of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless we get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Go, Yu-Gi-Oh! Online players will leave at Konami video. Now, generally speaking, I don't make a lot of video replies. In fact, the last one I can remember was the one that I made to Yugi No. It was about Brilliant Fusion, and he thought that it was a very legitimate chance the card could be banned. But me being the Gem Knight player that I am, I was like, hell no, bro. I gotta talk about why that card shouldn't be banned. Don't give Konami any ideas. For the most part, the reason why I don't is because a lot of times I don't feel the need to, because that's what the comment section is for. And I did, before anybody asked, I did actually comment on the video, and it looks like it's about 45 replies, 33 upvotes. Of course, I didn't upvote it, and I wanted to show you guys. It was actually a lot of stuff that I wrote here, but it's like at this point I might as well just try and make a video about it, just try and explain my point of view, because he did make a video a little while ago. It was a couple of weeks ago, right after Yugioh Pro got taken down off of the website, and it was a very thought-provoking video, and it was a good video, and it was one that even made me go out and write a very poorly worded letter to Konami and attempt to at least try and open up a dialogue with them. And I understood what he was trying to do, and I thought that video was fantastic. And it wasn't just fantastic, it was successful. I think it got 100,000 views, and who knows, maybe Julia Hedberg or somebody at Konami actually saw the video and started talking. I mean, we don't know what could come from that video. I mean, change can sometimes be very slow. And just for starters, I'm not trying to start any problems with Asian Eyes. I mean, he's a peer of mine. I don't have any problems with him. We both do this for a living. This is our livelihood, and I respect everything that he's accomplished. I mean, the dude has almost 150,000 subscribers, but I did take issue with this video, and I'll explain why. I feel like at this point, not only is the core point of this video, I think, just again, not trying to be offensive or anything like that, I think it's a rehash from the other video, but I feel like one of the central themes in this video is, hey, my channel isn't growing, my channel is struggling, and it's because the game is dying. You know what I mean? I feel like he repeats over and over and over again, no one's interested in the game's dying, etc., etc., etc. And I've made videos in the past basically couple weeks, talking about why I don't believe the game's dying. I've posted numbers and stuff like that, and they were kind of responses to him, but it wasn't 100% direct. He hasn't responded or anything like that. And I'd be perfectly fine opening up a dialogue, talking to him on Twitch, debating him or whatever. He said something about he wants to play Call of Duty Black Ops with no scope. Like, okay, whatever. That's not going to happen. But anyways, so for starters, let's talk about, like he said that he was going to show numbers to prove that the game is in a serious decline and I guess dying. You know what I mean? Now, when you say dying to me, I think dying like generally means that something is very close to not existing anymore. You know what I mean? Like people who say League of Legends is dying just because the numbers aren't what they were last year or maybe 2 years ago. It's still at any given time the most popular game on Twitch by a mile, and it's still like the most popular game worldwide for the most part, especially when it comes to like viewership and whatnot. So I still don't really understand when you say dying, because dying means like, okay, we're probably not going to get any more events, and by the end of the year we shouldn't be getting any more product. This will be the last anime, etc., etc. That's to me what dying means. Maybe you mean the game is plateaued, where it's like it's no longer growing, or maybe we're just in a rough period. The game has been going on for 20 years at this point. You're going to have ups and downs. That's one thing that I've said in the past. You're just going to have to understand. And I looked at some of the arguments or some of the analytics that he brought to the table, and they just didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like he used Google Trends, and I guess it shows how many like people are actually searching Yu-Gi-Oh! But what doesn't make sense about that is it said that, like, based on the Google Trends that he showed, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Peaked in 2005. Like, what? The funny thing is, I mean, we didn't even, that would be like the early days of, that would be like the right at the beginning of GX. Does anybody believe that? Like, I don't, because the funny thing is, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't break the Guinness Book of World Records for cards sold or the largest attended tournament ever for a trading card game until like 2011 2011 or 2010ish, somewhere around that. So I can't understand how those analytics make sense at all. And I don't think using Google Trends is like, it doesn't hold any weight in my opinion. And he compared it to like Digimon, and I'm like, wait, what? Based on those analytics, again, you're telling me that like Digimon is like 10 times more popular than Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's like, really? Because I'm not gonna say the Digimon card game and anime don't exist, because maybe they do, but I mean, if they do, I have yet of, like, I've been streaming for a year. I have not heard one person bring up those card games ever, or bring up like the Digimon. And we maybe brought up the Digimon anime, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't think Digimon's as popular as Yu-Gi-Oh. Surely not like 10 or 15 times more popular. And there were a lot of other things, like he talked about, how I guess during the Euro stream there was only like 428 people watching. Now I don't know where he got that number from. Maybe he was maybe he looked at a part where the stream was about to end, or maybe right as the tournament coverage began. But the thing is, you guys know I was watching the stream because I have every single, like, I've got the finals, the top 4, the top 8. I have all those matches on my actual YouTube, so you guys know that I was watching the stream. And if you took the Twitch numbers at their height, generally during like the top 8, the finals, the top 4, when things really get important and they rev up, and you looked at the YouTube numbers, because they were casting it on 2 different platforms, and you combine them, just for Euros there was about 3,000 people between both platforms. There was like 15 or about 1,400 on Twitch, and about another 1,400 on YouTube. That's basically 2,800. Let's just round that to 3,000. And then for the WCQ for North America, it was about 3,800. So it's like, I'm not understanding where you're looking at those numbers and you're trying to compare them to the top numbers. And furthermore, obviously I can't prove that, but even when you look at that, because I know somebody said that they thought that the game was still in a healthy spot, and Asian Eyes was like, well, prove it. Show me, some recent success that the game has had. If you look at the North American WCQ, the live stream, they convert the YouTube stream into a video, right? This is just the North American one for this year. You look at basically 87,000 for day 1, and then 95,000 views for day 2. This is clearly just all meta. I know everybody talks about they hate this format, if for a game that no one cares about, and for a dying game, getting almost 100,000 views for your day 2 video is pretty damn big when your channel has less than 40,000 subscribers. I think that that's pretty good for, a game that is dying, according to, according to Slaydra. Those are really, really good numbers. It's like, bro, 100,000 people watch just one day, and they didn't even stream the finals. Like, those are great numbers. Now, he does bring up arguments about how the biggest YouTubing channels aren't growing, all of their views are down, and that's why I started thinking, or that's when I started believing that the video was starting to become a little bit of a pity party. I thought that it was a lot of blaming the game for, I guess, the status of those channels. And I'll just put it on Jump Street. I don't know why he didn't include me in the video, but I'll just put my numbers out there. And this subscriber number, for some reason, I think on Social Blade is bugged. I think the view number is fine, because I'll show you my, what's it called? And this is current last 28 days. This is the official YouTube site. So don't say that, oh, this is fake, Cap. This isn't your actual subscribers. It says MegaCapitalG right there, created. I created this in August 2010. Anyways, look. So in the last 28 days, I've gotten about 2,800 subscribers, which is more than, like, well, based on the numbers that I see, more than like Cyber Knight and Simply Unlucky and Slaydra and Galactic God. And my views are actually through the roof. Now, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I've just been really, really, really grinding hard, and the fact that I just did a whole lot of coverage for, national season. I covered a lot of events, and I'm going to do the same for Worlds. But you see my views are basically 1.53, or 1.5 million. And you look at a channel like Simply Unlucky, and I have some of those saved because I like to keep up with my competition and my contemporaries. You see his views are 1.2 million, and it's like, How is that possible? You know what I mean? You can't on one side say that the game is dying and no one's getting any views when my views are drastically up. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, and again, I'm not trying to bash anybody, but if you look at people like Cyber Knight or Simply Unlucky, take no offense if they happen to see this, they pretty much post the same exact content. Most of it is box openings. In fact, I think Simply Unlucky is exclusively box openings, and me personally, I don't enjoy that type of content. And I mean, is that a sustainable type of video? Can you really do, 6 years of just video, of just box openings? You know what I mean? I think maybe people just figured or just find it to be boring at this point. These are channels that don't talk about the meta. They don't really cover news. They don't talk about YCS and events. They don't really talk about a lot of new product, or at least they don't do it on the rate that I do it. You know what I mean? So maybe you have to look at, some of these channels and think, why aren't these channels becoming more successful? I know Galactic God, I know that his views might be down, but it's been said Galactic God, he recently graduated college. He's got a full-time job. He's got a son. Like, he has other responsibilities. And this is not a direct attack at Slaydra, because again, I really do respect the hell out of him. But when you really look at his channel, and this is just constructive criticism, he's fine, or he's completely open to do the same for my channel. When I look at his channel, ever since the name change of Asianized to Slaydra, I think that there has been a drastic quality, the quality in his channel, in my opinion, has drastically took a nosedive. And I don't think it has anything to do with the actual game. For starters, and I've said this a couple of times, I think that, dude, it seems like you have an identity crisis. You know what I mean? Like, you post a lot of your Overwatch videos, you post, you tried this whole thing where you were trying to be like drama alerts, but when you really look at it, and again, I watch your videos, it's pretty evident that 90% of your audience came for Yu-Gi-Oh! And they still watch your Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. When I look at just at the sidebar, Yu-Gi-Oh! Video, 45,000 views. Here's another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video, 40,000 views. Let's see, Frog the Jam video, 35,000 views. Here's another one, 41,000 views. And it's like, those are great numbers. Those are really good. When you're posting Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos, you're getting 40 and 30,000 views, and you post Overwatch and 7,000 views. Let's see. Here's another Overwatch video, 6,000 views. Here's another Overwatch video, 5,000 views. And it's pretty clear that your Yu-Gi-Oh! Content is still bringing in the views. People are still interested in it because they're watching it, but it makes it like frustrating, I think, a lot of people, because they don't know what exactly your channel is. You know what I mean? They go to your channel and they see Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like, yes, this is what I came for. But then they see Overwatch, and I don't play Overwatch. Like, what the hell is this? I didn't subscribe for this. 90% of your audience didn't come for this. You know what I mean? You've got some video here with PewDiePie and Pokemon nudes or some shit like that. And it's like, what is this? What is the direction of this channel? If it's growth, then clearly the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff should be what you're pushing. And I think it frustrates a lot of people, and people are just like, I'm just gonna leave. Because I saw when you did that last video where you were doing your drama alert thing, a lot of people said that they were gonna unsubscribe you, and I looked at your social blade and I think you lost like 80 subs that day. So I really think you kind of have to look in the mirror. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to bash Slaydra, because whether you guys know or not, me and him are kind of tied at the hip. Like, even when you go to his channel, the first channel that pops up under related channels is my channel. Like, you know what I mean? We're pretty much tied at the hip. If you go to my channel, the first channel that pops up and related is freaking, what's it called? It's Slaydra. And then, let me see. If you go to the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel, we're both right there. So, we're all tied in together at this thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird, because I also think that a lot of the kind of weird, kind of spunky videos that made you super popular, that completely, if I'm honest, if I could have the know-how or the knowledge that I had now, I'd just go back a couple of years and I just rip off all your videos and post them a day before you did. A lot of those videos, like this one, I just go on YouTube and this is my front page, fight me 1v1, loser gets banned. You know what I mean? Like, these are the type of crazy, just ridiculous videos that you got known for, Slaydra, and you don't post them anymore. But this video has 85,000 views. You know what I mean? The videos where you used to have like your girlfriend playing, I haven't seen much of that in the past. And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vines, I mean, whether people know it or not, the whole reason that Yu-Gi-Oh! Vines even exists was because Slaydra created that. He created that, you know, that entire genre of videos, and obviously I've benefited from it. Look, I've got a whole entire series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vines, and you know, some of them have 50,000, 60,000. This one has 100,000 views. I know I'm just spouting off a lot of numbers. People are like, oh my God, shut up with numbers. You look at his, what's it called? I mean, for almost 500,000, two of his videos have like 400,000 views because they're in their Yu-Gi-Oh! Vines. This is this is a type of video that Slaydra created. He made this so that the rest of the community, or he made it and the rest of the community followed, and you don't do those anymore, man. So I look at your channel, I'm like, bro, you know what I mean? You gotta kind of look at the mirror, and you gotta kind of look in the mirror. And the thing about it is, if it was just me who was growing, I would say okay. But again, you guys have to understand the subscriber number is, I think, bugged. So really just look at the view number. Like, I'm looking at other YouTubers who are really, I think, grinding right now and are really posting consistent content basically on a daily basis. And you look at Team Samurai, he's up 50% in his views. And by the, his subs are just like, whew, that dude's basically, he's like getting better, more subs than I am. You look at Lithium, again, sub numbers I think are bugged, but his views up 33%. You look at the Sign Enigma, posts a video every day just like Lithium, up 33%. So I don't think that it is the fact that no one can find these views and that no one wants to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Content anymore. No one wants to play the game anymore. I just think the channels that are really grinding, the channels that are posting the consistent quality content, you're seeing the growth there. And again, that's not my opinion. That's the hard numbers actually backing that up. You know what I mean? Yes, Simply Unlucky's down, but, you know, do other types of videos, man, not just box openings. Now, as far as the game itself, and the game being in super decline, you know, I don't really understand if we're not talking about like actual sales numbers. And I know that he said, I had emailed Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint, and they said that their sales were down 80% in the past. And the only reason that I did email Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint, I will put full disclosure here, is because I was just looking for a sponsor. I didn't even want to open like boxes of cards or whatever. I just wanted to give the product away on my live stream for tournaments. So I basically emailed like the top 20 sites that I could find. I didn't think Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint was a great site or any great prestigious site. I mean, I always use TCG Player and eBay, and I think that's what most people, you know, pretty much use. Maybe the sales are down for Yu-Gi-Oh!, but the actual tangible numbers that we can actually look at, the attendance numbers, okay, well, NAWCQ and Europe WCQ, those had record numbers, not record numbers in the last 5 years, 10, like the greatest numbers ever. So attendance obviously is not an issue. You look at viewership, and again, I just showed you, or this is Simply Unlucky's page, but I just showed you my numbers are through the roof. So clearly the YouTube numbers aren't that big of a deal. You look at the Konami Twitch numbers, and I mean, day 2, 100,000 views. I'm going to say that the numbers are fine there. Again, I watched the WCQ, the top 8 and like the top 8 and the top 4. There was like 4,000 people watching almost. So those numbers are fine too. So I'm not even understanding why people are still on about this whole, the game's dying, the game's dying. And I don't even think we should be looking to some, you know, game that Konami is going to release to be like the magical savior of Yu-Gi-Oh! I also think that it's pretty unfair, Slay, that you're comparing Yu-Gi-Oh! To like, you know, League of Legends or Counter-Strike Go. You know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those Twitch phenomenons. And I say that that's fine. I mean, if Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, if we were like basically League of Legends, where me and you being like huge predominant streamers could pull 23,000, you know, 15,000 viewers, that would be fucking fantastic. I don't understand how I'd ever be able to duel everybody. It like wouldn't be possible. Even if I did tags all night, I mean, there's only 4 people at a time that could duel. But you also look at Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering doesn't do anywhere near League of Legends or Counter-Strike Go, and that game seems to be fine. The Pokemon trading card game doesn't do any numbers like that. In fact, I don't even think it's ever even streamed except nationals. You know what I mean? I don't even think they stream like their regionals or anything like that. At least with Yu-Gi-Oh, the ARGs and the European YCSs are streamed. For some reason, Twitch doesn't want to, like, they never put Yu-Gi-Oh on the front page, which is kind of weird. But I look at those other card games and their numbers are nowhere near League of Legends or Counter-Strike Go. I don't think it's, you know, I don't think it's, excuse me, I also don't think that it's fair to compare us to Pokemon Go. Like, I look at Pokemon Go, I don't think that that's sustainable either. It's a phone app. It's not comparable to Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! If people were saying that they were quitting for Force of Will or Cardfight Vanguard, okay, that would be something. If we saw the numbers of those games go through the roof, okay, that would be different. But Pokemon Go is something that you see, you know, Casey Neistat making videos about. Everybody and their mama wants a piece of the Pokemon Go pie right now because it's obviously a world phenomenon, but I honestly think that it's a fad. I mean, will Pokemon Go be around in 6 years like League of Legends? Will it have a 5-year, 6-year run like Counter-Strike Go or StarCraft? Like, I don't know. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh's had a 20-year run. Will Pokemon Go be around 20 years? Pokemon will be. Pokemon trading card game. But I don't think Pokemon Go is going to have super longevity. Like, yeah, it's hot now because it's been on a month. I mean, call me in December and see if people are getting, you know, 15,000 views streaming Pokemon Go. I don't really think it'll be popular in 5 months or 6 months. So anybody saying I'm gonna quit Yu-Gi-Oh for Pokemon Go, like that's basically saying like I'm gonna quit watching TV to eat oranges. Like, you know what I mean? Like the fucking Apple, like it's not a direct comparison. So I don't really know how long that I've been talking in this video, but those are just some of my points. I think the game is plateaued. I don't think that there is growth right now in the game, but I also don't think it's at the point where people can't find views, where, you know, YouTube, like YouTube channels are dying off. I think that the channels that are producing the quality content, you're seeing growth there. And I don't know, man, maybe some of you guys at the top where you guys have 100,000, 150,000 subs, you guys just aren't working as hard, man. You know what I mean? Like, you guys don't post daily content. You're just, I hate to say this, but your channels just aren't as good as they were 2 years ago. And I think if you honestly did a straw poll, I think that people would probably say that. I mean, my channel, in my opinion, I think that I'm as good as or better than I was, you know, 2 years ago. I think my channel is pretty much about the same in quality, but I don't know. I think a lot of those other channels, the quality has declined, and I think that's why the viewership has declined. So anyways, man, I am completely open for a debate. You can hit me up on Twitch. You can hit me up on Skype. I'm rarely on, but all you have to do is just contact me by Twitch or, you know, YouTube or anything like that, and I would be perfectly fine to discuss this. I'm not saying that Konami has no blame in this. There are ways that they can make the game better. If they created something like Hearthstone, that would be fantastic. I would totally be willing to pay, you know, $5 or $10 a month. But that whole pay to pack thing, I don't know about that shit. You know what I mean? Just because it would make my streaming easier. But even just the last thing, ever since the shutdown of Dolly Network, I haven't seen like a decline on my live stream. In fact, I'm up in viewers like 20%, which is, again, it's crazy, man. You know, I think, Slay, you know what your viewers want. You know your viewers want Yu-Gi-Oh content. You know that because of your views. You know, even when you look at your Twitch numbers, bro, like there's no way that I should be able, because I think on Saturday we both streamed, and like 2 hours into my stream I had double your viewers. That shouldn't happen when you're 6 times bigger than me. Like that just should not happen ever. You know what I mean? I would be insulted if that happened to me. But you streamed Overwatch, I think, or something like that, and nobody wants to watch that. People want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, so everybody went to my channel. You know what I mean? Or I guess the people just left your channel and watched other things, but I was streaming Yu-Gi-Oh, so the viewers stayed with me, man. And again, I'm just saying that I'm not trying to start any drama, not trying to, you know, disrespect Asian eyes or anything like that, because, you know, he's a peer and I respect him a lot, but his pessimistic attitude towards the game, like, it influences other people. He has such a large voice in the community, and it's like all they hear from this guy lately in the last couple of weeks is Yu-Gi-Oh's dead, Yu-Gi-Oh's dead, Yu-Gi-Oh's dead, Yu-Gi-Oh's dead. But then the only thing on his channel that's like getting tons of views is Yu-Gi-Oh, 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 Yu-Gi-Oh. So I don't really, like, it doesn't make sense. And I look at my channel and I compare it to his, and our views in the last month or the last 30 days are basically the same, but my channel's a third of his. You know what I mean? Which means only two things are possible. Either A, I'm doing like way better of a job than he is. You know what I mean? Or B, his channel is just like the quality is just in the toilet. Those are the only things that it could mean, because you can't say, oh my God, Cap, it's because the game is, you know, the format's so bad. Like, we've had so many ridiculously bad formats. That has nothing to do with formats. You know what I mean? If it was because of the format, no one would have watched this. Like, this video wouldn't have 100,000 views if it was because of the format. If it was because of the format, like, I wouldn't be pushing 1.5 million views a month. Like, you know what I mean? Everything is relative. Again, I'm just done. Thank you guys for watching. And I know I said that was going to be the end of the video, but there were a couple more points that I wanted to address. And this is already going to be a super long video, so I might as well throw everything in there. There's one thing that Slaydra keeps saying that's it's legitimately like pissing me off at this point. He keeps saying that like Yugioh Pro has been taken down, despite the fact that it clearly has not. If you watch Lithium, he posts his videos every single day just about where he builds decks exclusively on Yugioh Pro. I mean, you can see right here, I just logged into Yugioh Pro. The damn thing just updated today. You can still get Yugioh Pro. All you have to do is a 30-second Google search. If you really want to find and download the program, you can find and download the program. I mean, there's this website called Grunt Mods that has it right there. Just like, I mean, this looks almost like an official website. Just because it was taken down off of the official website doesn't mean the program doesn't work. It doesn't mean that you can't get it. I don't know if Slay is saying this because he's wrong about it and he's just like, well, I'm just going to stay on this side of the argument so that I can try and be right. But you did say in a last video that they were going to stop uploading it, so it didn't matter. You were wrong about that. They've uploaded it about a half a dozen, or they've updated the damn thing like a dozen times since being taken down off the official web. That's why I just say the link was taken down. Like, they didn't take the program down. They didn't accomplish anything. NAS. You know, I think some of this might have to do, this whole pessimistic attitude that's coming from your channel might have to do with the fact that this video, the RIP online games video, was, I mean, it's the most popular thing you've posted in a couple of weeks, but you still just have to look at the fact that people want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh on your channel. You're just not giving them Yu-Gi-Oh, man. You know, you post this video, 38,000 views, and then you post some Counter-Strike shit that no one wants to watch. Like 4,000, like no one wants to watch this video. You've got this video with Tower Knights, 20,000 views, and then you have Let's Play Fury. What the fuck is Fury? No one wants to watch this. 4,000 views for a channel with 150,000 subscribers. Like, what is that? And then just the last thing is about the censorship. And excuse me, you talk about how Konami doesn't want to hear feedback. They don't want to hear opinions on the game. First off, if they didn't want that, why would they even have it available? Why would they have emails for you to contact them at all? I wouldn't even put contact information on like the Yu-Gi-Oh card website. Second, on the Twitch stream, the European one, there was actually a lot of interaction. Not only did they have people like, you know, high-end players commentate, but then they actually did straw polls, and I think his name is Oliver. I can't remember what his last name. It's like German. Then he actually posted straw polls while the stream was going on, asking if they wanted more guest commentators. So it's like they were actually interacting with the chat while that was actually happening. So I don't believe that that's accurate too. And you have to think that this is still at the end of the day a business, and this is still a company that primarily targets this game to children. Like, doesn't it make sense that they would disable comments on their YouTube videos? If you were running this game, would you really want every single fucking video that you posted to have Free My Nigga Stratos, you know, 100 times in the comment section? Like, no, you get sick of that. Free My Nigga DN, Free My Nigga Stratos, Free My Nigga Shockmat. Like, you wouldn't want that garbage in your fucking comment section 24/7 every video you post, so you just disable them completely. You know what I mean? On the Twitter, I mean on the Twitch streams, like you could post whatever you wanted. It's just they were blocking people for saying Free My Nigga DN. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's cool, but it's like, it's fine to talk about the actual what's going on. Like, I was in there, I was typing. Maybe they were a little extreme with, you know, you not being able to say like certain things. Like I think I said I typed pedo bear and I got timed out for like 6 minutes or something like that. But in general, you could talk and discuss what was actually going on. You could ask questions to, like, you know, people about the game and new products and whatnot. You just couldn't, you know, maliciously Free My Nigga DN. You know, hey Konami, what's going on with DN? Like, Konami didn't take down Dueling Network, so they don't want to fucking sit here and hear about it for, you know, the entirety of the stream. So that's it. That's all I wanted to address. Thank you guys for watching.